Hey y'all, it is currently November the 24th, 2025, the week of Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a whole lot of thanks to be given. I, here in America at least, I know it's really only pertaining to America, and that everybody else doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but certainly you can be grateful for something out there, bub. I want to let y'all know that yesterday I went with my man, and it wasn't gay at all, but we went to the movies. I and we were both pretty excited. Pause to go see the remake, the reboot of an old classic movie called The Running Man. A lot of y'all might remember The Running Man. I don't know if that was the late 80s or early 90s, but it was classic. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody's seen that back in that day. And we decided to go see the reboot. Now, let me just say, and I want to play this clip that's behind me for good reason. It's very related. Let me just say that the new Running Man was, in my opinion, not only better than the first Running Man, right? Because that doesn't happen a lot with reboots. It's not always better. But this one, decisively even better. So, for anybody on the fence, I know critics are saying this and that. It doesn't matter. Don't listen to the critics. Anybody on the fence about seeing the new Running Man, please do. Please do yourself a favor. Not only was it better than the previous Running Man, but actually, honestly, I'll put it. It goes in my top five movies of all time, bub. That's how good it was. Of all time, it's definitely worth watching. Now, the two things that I took from it weren't brand new ideas to me, but they were very much reinforcement on the ideas that I've already had in my head. Perhaps you'll take away the same things from them. Number one, if you're on the left, the so called left, what they call the left, you are retarded. If you are on the right, the so called right, which a lot of my friends and amigos, they're on the right. If you're on the right, you are retarded. Y'all are both retarded. You're so damn retarded. All right? And this is being used as a trap to trap you in a retarded trap, and it's working. All right? So that movie definitely drove that home. Number two, um, principles. A lot of people love to live life for whatever reason. They love it so much. Hey, it's great. The world's great. Principles are, in fact, more serious than life and death. Much more serious. Whether or not you stand on your principles. Plenty of people will give up all their principles if they could just live a little bit longer, and it doesn't make any damn sense at all. Those are the 2 points that were really, really driven home on this new Running Man. It was an excellent movie. So, related to that, I want to play this clip real quick and then talk with you a little bit about it on the other side. All right. Here's some two guys who I don't even know who they are, to be honest. These two guys. But the one on the left is hosting today. He was hosting the War Room that is on the Alex Jones network, not Steve Bannon's War Room, but the InfoWars War Room. this bald man on the left, and he had a guest, this quite rotund man on the right. I don't know his name. I should probably find that out. They were speaking some mad deep stuff, and it's very, very well related. I believe, they're going to touch upon, for example, the ICE raids that have been taking place here in America. These highly controversial ICE raids. So I'm going to let them take it away.
The abuses of the Constitution by ICE and CBP that are happening all across the country right now. And so it's very clear that what is happening here is a deliberate policy to enhance the very police state that Alex Jones had been warning about from the early 2000s for the OG InfoWars crew. You remember, the police state documentaries, Police State 1, Police State 2, 3, 4. Alex did a great job of calling out precisely what this government would be doing and the strategies that they would utilize to circumvent the Constitution and install a tyrannical state in this country. Sadly, however, a lot of people who initially rang the bell and sounded the alarm for that are now cheering for it because they have fallen into that false dichotomy of, oh, I support the left or I support the right. And so they've completely abandoned their principles when it comes to, actually opposing these attacks against the liberty of everyone.
Well, and that's just it. No matter who is in office and whoever is president, they're not going to be perfect or even close to perfect. And we need to hold them to the fire when they are doing things that take away our freedoms and liberties. I know last time I hosted the war.
All right, I'm going to cut it off right there. I'm sure they're going to say mad, insightful stuff after that, but I just wanted to cut it off right there. Now, the rotund fella over here, he spoke about the idea of one side cheering on the government in order to crack down on, say, another side. So, for example, in this example, you might see a lot of people on the, quote, right, and they're cheering on the ICE raids and stuff like that. And that's much to the chagrin of people who are on the left, who take it as like personal attacks upon them. All right. And this is why it's very controversial. Now, if you're to watch the Running Man, new reboot Running Man movie, this will come into crystal clear view when he says cheering on, because that's what you're going to see. People cheering on as other people get cracked on the head and killed and disappeared and everything else. They're cheering it on. Much in the way that they're cheering it on here. Now, I would agree with most of the people who find themselves on the right and in that, okay, we got an immigration problem. In fact, more specifically, we got an illegal immigration problem. And I'm not a genius, and of course, I don't have no power, but here's what I want to say. It's a good idea to get rid of these people from out of our infrastructure. That's not a bad idea, right? Especially ones who they happen to be taking all your jobs. I get it. I get why people are upset. Meanwhile, the actions that are being taken against these people, I don't want to sound like an authority, but let me suggest they're the wrong thing to do. And as some people who've been accused of being leftists have suggested, this is entirely bad optics. The idea of snatching up people, catching them at certain places in the public or at their house, snatching up people, snatching up old ladies, snatching up children and all this. Although I get where you're going, you're trying to remove them from the country, horrible, terrible optics. And that sort of thing kind of lays a precedent. All right? let it be normalized that certain agencies can just snatch up people. Oh, and they're not giving an explanation. Certainly people on the right are cheering it on, and they don't even need an explanation. They already get it. They're illegals. Snatch them up. Don't matter how rough, just snatch them up. Get them out of here. That's what they're saying. But you know what it does? It normalizes the idea of the government coming down in vehicles and stuff and caravans and stuff and snatching people up. That's what it does. It normalizes it. And although I'm not a genius, here's what I can say. Here's what I would suggest. If you didn't want, and Lord knows there's people, there's subversives in the government. I understand it. But if you wanted to technically get rid of so-called illegals, we all know that plenty of them are on government assistance, be it SNAP, be it Medicaid, be it all sort of different benefits that they get, the EBTs, the whatever, the social welfare, the safety nets that were meant for U.S. citizens. No, they're given to illegals. You got to understand that if you were to take that away completely, no matter what, if you're not a citizen of America and you can't prove it, you're not getting shit at all, no kind of benefits, go back to your country or something. Either that or stay here with no benefits. And you're not going to get any chronic sort of health care and stuff like that. You can't be here. But thing is, we're not going to see, in this case, you'd be getting rid of a lot of people and you wouldn't have to be snatching them up into vans and stuff. And the optics wouldn't look so crazy and terrible. You get what I mean? And then also you could still have raids and you could still get the worst of the worst because Lord knows there's human traffickers. There's people who've done bad things. All right? And we can snatch up just specifically the ones who are human trafficking, doing all the bad things, all in these Venezuelan gangs and all this, specifically target them. You know, honestly, it would be hard for people to get mad at you no matter where they're at on the political spectrum. If every time you snatch up one person, if you could prove, oh, this person is a danger to society, quite clearly, that's why we snatched them up. But meanwhile, from time to time, I seen you snatching up old ladies and snatching up people like fathers of households and this and that, snatching up children. Terrible optics. You're setting horrible precedents. All right. And there could have been much smarter ways, but you're not going about it in a smart way. For whatever reason, it's not being enacted in a smart way. You close the border and that's great. Try to close the border from Canada too. I put a wall over there. That'd be great. But instead, we're doing stuff in a very kind of horrifying way. And what it's further doing is further dividing the right and the left. Like I said, The Running Man points that out perfectly. It's one of the best movies I ever seen in my life. Now, like I said, if you're on the left, you're a retard. All right? Let me call it to your damn face. Please let me call it to your damn face that you are a godforsaken retard. All right? And you need to smarten up. If you're on the right, you're one of these people over here on the right, you think you're doing good, you are a retard. And I'm just tired of it. You need to be, I'm not going to here to tell you what you need to be, but if you were in the center, guess what? Jesus is in the center, right? And everybody knows that this is where Jesus is at. This is where the truth is at, in the center. You're on the left, you're on the right, inevitably, you're a damn retard, right? And you will be used against each other. You know what's so crazy is that memories seem to be lost, and we're going down this road regardless of what I say right now, right? Total complete carnage and chaos is where we're going regardless of what I say to you right now, right? But check this out. If you didn't have such a short memory to find yourself on the left or find yourself on the right, if you didn't have such a short ass memory, you would remember, hey, you know who's got their boot on your neck? Metaphorically, sometimes literally. You know who's got their boot on your neck? The government. Right? And so I don't care what government comes in, and they convince you, oh, the left has their boot on your neck. The left, they're out to get you. They don't even know their genders. They're out to get you and get your children and stuff like that. Certainly they are, but um, they don't have their boot on your neck. The government does. If you're on the left, oh, those people on the right, oh, they're out to get you. They don't want you to have welfare all the time, and they don't want you to do this and that and live your best life and stuff. The right, they have their boot on your neck. Meanwhile, if you had any sense, you'd realize neither the right nor the left have any fucking power. And believe it or not, that boot that's on your neck belongs to the government. And if the left and the right were to come together, you don't have to agree on stuff. That's not the point. If y'all were to come together and realize the boot on both y'all's neck, but both belong to the same body, and that is the government, and they're fucking you on purpose, that would be a game changer, wouldn't it? If you just realized that, that would be a game changer. Anyways, like I said, do yourself a favor. Check out The Running Man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.